Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Chronicle, where something I realized earlier today, it was actually like just a bit before making this video, is that I'm still not 100% comfortable on camera. Now, I'm kind of wondering like how that looks to everyone else, because like what I notice is like sometimes I'll just start talking like really fast, or like sometimes I'll like I know this has happened a couple times. I'll just talk for like a really long time and then just go like, or like a big exhale actually because I took in too big of a breath and then didn't use it while talking. But yeah, I realized that like while making a yap session video, which like I wasn't entirely like sure on. Like I think I definitely should have like not scripted it because I don't want it to be scripted. But I think like I could have made like talking points with it. It was the one that I've been meaning to make about the Wii U gamepad, which I actually did. We'll get to the goals in a second, but I did that yap session. Yeah, and I'm thinking like do I look like I'm like chill and relaxed? Like I know there's sometimes at times I will purposely talk very fast. But I think that my usual speed of talking is slightly faster than I don't know if it's like it would be accurate to say than average, but like maybe than is comfortable, even for me. And like I'll get this feeling where I'll just be like, I need to talk as fast as I can to get to the point so that I can then like be done, kind of is what it feels like. Like it felt like that while I was making the yap session. I was like, I feel like I'm talking about this for too long and I need to wrap it up. Now, the whole point of the yap sessions especially is to talk. Now, usually it is about one thing, but like it is to talk and like where was I going with that? Yeah, like I'm afraid to like pause during the app session. And like with the Chronicle, I'm supposed to be as comfortable as possible, which is like why I definitely like enjoy this. I think more than maybe I did in the past was because I would try and keep them really short. And then speaking of that, I didn't rewatch a couple episodes, but I did look at them, and like there was a few that are like less than 10 minutes. I thought there would only be like one that was less than 10 minutes, but there was like a 5 minute episode, an 8 minute episode, I think a 9 minute episode, and like I think I can remember what my mental state was like during those episodes. And I think I was a bit less comfortable. It was similar to the series of Being 18, where I looked at well, I knew from the very beginning with that series that I was very, like, shy during the first few episodes, or first few, like, days. And then it was similar to this, where it's like I'll get more comfortable, I'll, talk longer, the videos get longer. Now, I still feel like 30 to 40 minutes is a bit too long, kind of. But I don't know. I feel like it's nice for these. But it's actually not maybe the best because another goal related thing is that. Oh, hold on, this one. Um, is that. Oh my gosh. Okay. I'll get to it when I talk about the goal. But the point for that little tidbit is that the videos need to be shorter so that I can transfer them, like the actual video files. Um, and then all that to go back to my point of why I'm not comfortable on camera, um, which I'm totally forgetting right now. Uh, yeah, it's just I feel like I need to be talking the whole time without a moment of silence at all ever. Which is weird because I know there was moments of silence in previous episodes whenever I would like skim through the journal entry, because I didn't always read it out. I didn't always read it word for word out loud. I would just skim it and then talk about it. Um, yeah, but like I should be more comfortable on camera. Is another point. Like, and I am very comfortable doing these, especially now. Like just taking a moment to think just now, it did feel like kind of bad, but I do feel better now that I did it. Because then I didn't get quite so off track. But yeah, and like sometimes I feel like my trains of thought just totally die, like they just totally, and then I'm like, crap, what do I do now? And then I just keep talking, Like I've already been tracking how many times I've been saying this whole time. I do try to avoid saying but the thing is, if I don't say then there's just a moment of silence, and like I said, I don't know, like that's definitely allowed, right? Because this is my channel, so I can say as many or I can say as many moments of silence as I want, and it'll be fine. But ideally, I don't have them. But I think it's also the nature of this video to have the ums. It's a very realistic thing to Well, isn't there like a quote like that? To err is to human, or something like that. I'm pretty sure that's a quote, guys. You should like look it up. I have the need to double check the properties on my microphone. Can I do that while recording? Okay, pretty sure it's good. All right, time to get to the goals. Now that's out of the way. Okay, so the goals for this week. I was actually thinking about starting this video with a very dramatic intro. So let me do that now. All right, imagine the video just started. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Chronicle, where I gave up. This week, I made the goal to give up, and I gived up. Right? It's done. I did it. I gave up. And then I guess I would start talking about the goals at that point. Should I start with that one? No. Let's start with the USB goal. Okay, the USB goal, because I did just talk about this. The goal for this one was to get a USB drive and then transfer all of the, literally all the videos from the Chronicle onto the USB drive. That way they don't take up so much space on my computer. It was going great until I got to some of the later episodes, and for some reason, okay, this is totally ridiculous, you can't transfer a file larger than 5 gigabytes to the USB drive. And I was like, this thing has 256, look, it's right here. This thing has 256 gigabytes of storage, and I can't transfer a singular file that's over 5 gigabytes. And I tried compressing the file, and it said it was going to take 8 minutes. And I'm like, you want me to wait 8 minutes to transfer this 5 gigabyte file onto this 256 gigabyte drive when the whole point of this thing is to store files? The whole point of this thing is to store gigabytes. But no, if you have 5 at a time, that's too many. And I tried, like, there was a little flip down. It said, click on this for more details. But it was grayed out. I couldn't click on it. And I was like, what is even the point of this? I was upset. But also, like, what even is the point of this? Because, like, something I realized is that, or honestly, I realized it before I even bought it. This is on YouTube, man. It's free, it's public, and it's probably gonna be here forever. I don't think YouTube deletes your channel, like, just for, like, after time. Like, I'm pretty sure this is gonna be here for the entirety of the lifespan of the internet. So I don't really need to have them all on a physical flash drive. And so I'm like, okay, well, so do I just use this one? Do I archive all my videos on this one and then just stop once it's full? Or do I just, like, for the sake of it, now that I've already started, do I just keep buying more USB drives and then transferring them on here? If they're like this one, then I definitely don't, because I think, I don't know if I want to have videos longer than 40 minutes, but I want to be able to have videos longer than, I believe it was 40 minutes was when the file size would get too big, and then I couldn't transfer it, right? So I want to have the option, right? I don't want them all to be that long, but I want to have the option. Because, like, I think it was the one I titled The 1/5 Life Crisis. That was, I believe, at the time, it was the longest episode to date, and it was 40 minutes. And I think from about then is when my videos started getting longer. And it is more comfortable to, to have that breathing room, that time, to not feel rushed, whenever I'm making these videos. So I would like to have that option. But this stupid little thing says, no, you can't have your 5 gigabyte videos. That's too much. And I'm like, that's dumb. All right, so that's the USB goal. The app session goal, as I already talked about that. I made the video. It's done. And then the give up goal. I did it, guys. I gave up. So this, I guess I could just get right into the journal, because the journal, I actually noticed, did explain it pretty well. Don't worry, it's nothing alarming. I'm not gonna, like, die or anything. Sometimes I forget that, like, my words carry a bit more weight than I think. So, like, when people who care about me, like, see this, they might get a little bit concerned or worried. Relax, guys, everything's fine. That's why it's in quotes. It's because I'm not actually giving up. I'm giving up. Yeah, let me read the journal entry. Or yeah, let me read the first 2 journal entries. I'm looking at this one and it had a part that I don't remember, and I'm like, wait a minute, should I start there? Okay, yeah. All right, so let's start with the journal, and then we'll kick into that. Monday. I can feel my mental health going down again, and I can tell that I'm slowly becoming more and more unhappy overall, but I'm actively working on solutions, so don't worry. After work today, me and Ink were supposed to watch Wednesday, but then her chicken took too long to cook, so we pushed it back an hour, and then something else came up and she canceled it entirely, so I spent the evening lamenting and pondering. And then the quote is, what did I go in for? Yeah, so that's, I would say, pretty self-explanatory, right? Yeah, some family thing happened with Ink, so we had to cancel. We were going to finish watching Wednesday on Monday. Wednesday, the TV show on Netflix. And then some family emergency happened. And then she was like, can we cancel? And I was like, sure. And then, yeah, and then the quote, what did I go in for? So I, oh man, I should also get water when I do these. I went into the doctor again this Monday for, I literally didn't know. I had gotten a call over the phone like shortly after my first visit, and they're like, hey, blah, 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 appointment, doctor, scheduling. And then my anxiety spiked, and I was like, uh huh, yeah, sure, Monday, late, PM, please, yeah, thank you. And then that was it. So by the time I got there, I didn't actually know what I was there for. I checked the emails. I was like, wait, what am I going in for? Because I noticed one of the results from my labs that there was a note from the doctor that said, "Come in if issues persist." And I was like, issues have been persisting for 3 years, and you gave me a thing to treat the thing that I don't have. What do you mean if issues persist? They're not just gonna go away because like there was nothing wrong with me. Anyway, yeah, so I went in that day for blood work, I think, or labs, I think was just what they called it. They just took my blood again, and then that was it. And they tested for stuff. Well, did they test for anything? I don't know. Like I said, I didn't know. And then when I got the email, it was like, here, results are available. Guess what? All this stuff came back normal. All right. So they took my blood, they took my breath, they took X-rays, they took an ultrasound, then they took my blood again, and they didn't find anything wrong. And I was like, I must be mentally ill. I must be mentally ill or something. Because they took, like I said, let me go over this slowly for you this time. They took my blood, my breath, they took x-rays, and they took an ultrasound, and then they took my blood again. And also they prescribed me medicine for stomach ulcers, which was weird because I don't have those. They checked for those. I don't have those. I still have the medication. I stopped taking it because I don't think it's gonna help. And like, I don't know if it was helping when I was taking it. So I'm like, should I finish taking it? Because I think that's what the prescription said. But like, it's just annoying. The medicine has rules, so it's annoying to take. Um, anyway, so they didn't find anything wrong with my body. So I'm like, I must be mentally ill, right? I must be, because what else would it be? Because I thought it was a stomach problem, but now well, I haven't talked to anyone about it since, but whenever I talk to people about it, I have to say my stomach problem because I don't think there's anything wrong with my stomach. And like, yeah, so that this ties into the give up goal. That was just really getting to me because I don't know what the problem is. I don't know how to solve the problem, and I deal with that every single day. Now, speaking of which, was it today and yesterday actually wasn't that bad. Hold on, let me mute my mic. Okay, ignore that. Um, so my stomach was like honestly the best day that I have had in a while for my stomach was like today and yesterday. I don't remember exactly why or what I ate, which I probably should track. Because like I did look back at a couple. Actually, wait, did I even? I think I like skimmed my stomach diary, and I was like, let me try and find a day where it was good. And then I couldn't find any days where it was good, and I was like, gosh darn it. And then on like Thanksgiving, was it earlier this week? My younger sister was like, let me pull up the text because I can't remember. I don't want. I want to get it. I want to not paraphrase. She said, oh yeah, she said, do you think there is correlation between you burping and whatever the stomach problem is? Okay, so I don't know if you guys have noticed. I'm pretty sure I mentioned this at least once so far. But like whenever I like do this and I go, "Phew," that's a burp. That is like that's a burp. Okay, straight up. Now I know it's not like a belch, like it's not the typical burp sound, but like I don't like, and I'm like I don't know if other people can do that. But like whenever I feel a burp coming, I can like just turn it into that puff of air instead of like letting out the gross burp noise. Um, so I did that, whatever you want to call that kind of burp. I did that at Thanksgiving at my dad's house. My younger sister texted me and she was like, "Do you think those are related?" And then I ended up telling her I don't think there's actually anything wrong with me except my stupid brain or something. Um, and then yeah, she said it just seems so debilitating to be mental. To which I just said, "I know, right?" Because yeah, it really does. And I mean, mental illness definitely can be debilitating. I don't know if mine counts as debilitating, if I'm being honest. Speaking of which, I Googled, I was like, can I get medical marijuana? Right? Because I know that like my stomach usually feels fine and I eat a moderate amount when I'm high. And then it was like it's illegal in Kansas, but I think there's exceptions for debilitating medical issues. And I think the example I used was like chemo. Apparently, you like throw up a lot when you have chemotherapy. And I was like, well, I don't think it's I don't think it counts as debilitating because I'm still alive, I'm still living. I'm not actively dying. Um, so yeah, but I was like, I don't know. I am 21 soon, so I don't know. So yeah, now I'm like, do I need to see a psychiatrist instead of a doctor? Because like the doctor, they did the stuff, man, and they're like, nothing's wrong. Come in as symptoms persist. But like, what am I gonna tell him if I go back there? Like he has my tests. He has the stuff. Like he graded it or whatever. Like he knows as much as I do, I think. I know I wasn't super in detail when I was giving him all the information, but like I told him just about everything. I was like, I feel nauseous a lot. I've thrown up a couple times. I went to the ER one time. Stuff like that. So yeah, I guess I don't know. I still have insurance for a month, and then next year I'll be on my dad's insurance again, which is actually pretty cool. Thanks, Dad. Um, but like, is that gonna cover a mental doctor, a psychiatrist? I don't know. That's kind of one of the reasons why I haven't gotten diagnosed yet. Also, because I've talked about this before, I like being able to claim that I've never been diagnosed because I can at least argue that there's nothing wrong with me because it hasn't been diagnosed. But like, I don't want to have mental illness, man. I really don't. But like, if I do, then I do. Like that's my thing. I don't want to have it, but if I have it, then I'll have it and I'll accept having it. But as long as I can like pretend that I don't have it, then I don't want to have it. So yeah, the stomach problem had been it's just like killing me, man. Like figuratively, I'm still alive. Don't worry. But like that with like combined with just daily stressors had stressed me out a lot, which is why I wrote that entry for Monday. And then let me read Tuesday. I made a new goal for this week. Give up. I'm so tired. I can't do it anymore. I need a break and I'm going to take one even though I feel like I definitely don't deserve it. I need it, but I don't think I deserve it. I'm writing this hunched over on the floor with shaky hands from all the nausea. I'm also writing this earlier than usual just so that I can give in sooner. And then the quote is, I'm tired, boss, which is, I think that technically counts as like a meme template. I've seen it used very like sarcastic and in satire like that. Just like, like a corporate billionaire wins again. Poor people die quicker and faster now. I'm tired, boss. You know what I'm saying? Just like that. Yeah, so I guess I gotta talk about the give up goal now. And don't worry, I got it, man. I put a big check mark on here because I gave up everything. I gave up so hard. I didn't try at all. You know, I would say I rotted, but I didn't. Actually, I talked to my friend Tapouty because she rots a lot. I don't know if she does that on purpose. Um, but yeah, and I should specify. Actually, I did talk to her about it because I was like, I had been just essentially not doing productive things all day and just been like relaxing and enjoying myself. And I was like, does this count as rotting? She was like, no, rotting is when you think about doing all those things, then you don't do those things, and you feel bad that you didn't do those things. So I was like, oh, okay. And that definitely sounds like depression, but I didn't do that. Okay. So yeah, the give up goal was to give up. I didn't work towards any of my goals hardly at all. Like I said, it is actually miraculous that I did two of them, which was the USB and the app session. Um, I guess you could count three if you count this one. But yeah, so what I did was I invented a new symbol for my goals. So was it? And I know you can't see them, but they get a check mark once they're done, and they get an X for every week that I don't work towards them. They get a clock if I made progress on them. They get the snowflake if the goal is frozen, which only one has ever been frozen so far. And I was like, so how do I make this new symbol for when I pause the goal for a week? And I settled on a pause symbol, or at least what I think. I did the two vertical lines with the triangle next to it. Because I was like, I'm pretty sure that'll send the message. Um, yeah, so now all of my goals have a pause symbol on them, except was it the resin goal that technically does still get an in progress because my coworker is working on that. I think it's been so many weeks. I'm gonna count those clocks at some point, and it's gonna be a lot. So that was the only one that didn't get a pause. The whistle, pause, nap, pause. I think I did take a nap, uh, maybe. Like I definitely did, or I don't know. The thing is like whenever I do try to take a nap, I will often get very close. I talked about this before. I'll get very close to sleeping without falling asleep, and then I'll usually feel a little better once I do that. So I think I did. I don't know like how to count that as done. I think I need to take a nap every day for a week. I need to, and that'll yeah, that's how I check that off. Anyway, yeah. So the whistle goals paused. Workout still frozen. I should be working on that soon. Oh yeah, I made a couple new goals. Handstands paused. Guitar catch ups paused. Dailies are paused. Um, and yeah, actually, the dailies, that was one of the things that had been stressing me out because, like, every single day I needed to do these very simple tasks, I will admit. But it's just, I felt so bad. I felt so bad whenever I didn't do them, right? Because it's like, if I miss one day, the entire goal has failed. And I could restructure that to make it less stressful. But it's like, it's a high risk, high reward situation, with that. And now that I did take a break from them, I feel like it is easier to do them. And honestly, I've recovered like very quickly from that little stint. Like it only took a couple days of giving up before I felt good again, and I was like, okay, you know what? I think I'm ready to not give up anymore, which is good. Yeah. So goals. Okay. So the handstands pause, guitar dailies pause, workouts pause. I did make three goals this week. Only two if you don't count the give up goal. So two that I haven't done yet. One of them is caffeine 24/7 is what I have written up there, and then one of them is daily weekly, which I will keep as a surprise for next week. But the what is it? What did I just say? Caffeine 24/7 goal. Okay, so speaking of drugs, as you guys know, caffeine is technically a drug, and I've been weighing this more and more. If I do have to take a drug daily, caffeine wouldn't be the worst one, and I've talked about this before. But also, like, if I do take weed for medical purposes, which I might hopefully maybe I would like to do. If I'm being honest, I would like to do that. I don't know if that's possible in my current situation, but I would like to do that. And if I did do that, I would like to only take it until it fixes whatever is happening with my stomach. Because I'm thinking it's got to be some kind of, like I said, I don't think it's quite an eating disorder. I think it might just be like anxiety. Because like one of the things is whenever I'm eating here in the apartment, I think, what will people think of me if they knew I was eating this food? And I think that thought too much, and it's definitely bad. Like there's hardly anything, hardly any good comes from that thought. It just, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like think about that. Think about that. All right. Think with me right now, okay? Every time I eat food in my apartment, I think, what will people think of me if they saw me eating this, and what would they think of me if they saw me eating this regularly? Um, and like, what doesn't help is when my freaking coworkers, I feel like it's every single time they see me eating lunch, they comment. They're like, "Oh, this thing again? This thing again? Oh, where's your thing that you were eating every day last week? Where's that thing? Oh, you're eating a new thing? Oh, you're eating that every week? Like, shut up! Let me eat my lunch, man. It's not a problem, I think." Like, yeah, I mean, you could make the argument, well, maybe it is if it's literally giving you freaking if an eating disorder, like borderline. But yeah, so like I think I do because like I've said before, sometimes I will like very often view my life in a third person perspective to like kind of evaluate myself, to make sure I'm not a bum and a loser. Um, and I think I do that too much if I'm being honest, especially with the food. Like I had hot dogs earlier before I recorded this because I was hungry. I just boiled a couple of hot dogs, got ketchup, spicy mustard. It's called, sorry, spicy mustard. Let me specify. There's no actual like spice in it. It's just the kind of mustard. It's called spicy mustard. I feel like that's not terribly uncommon. Anyway, ketchup, spicy mustard, relish, hot dog, bun. It was good. And I will be honest, I eat that fairly regularly. Not like daily, but like, I usually go grocery shopping once a week. And not every week, but maybe most weeks for a while, I'll buy hot dogs, hot dog buns, and then, I've already got the sauces at home. Those last. But yeah, that's like one of the things. It's like if they see me, me, and everything that comes with that, the context, me with my 9 to 5 in my factory and whatever, and I'm eating hot dogs, I'm boiling hot dogs, and then, putting in the bun with the condiments. It's like, are they gonna be like, this guy's a loser? You know what I'm saying? It's like I said, that's definitely anxiety for sure. Um, and that's at home or whenever I make my own food. Um, but like, yeah, man, I guess, and I've talked about this before as well. Sometimes I do get scared of being hungry because like I don't know if the food's gonna make me nauseous or not, or sometimes like if the food's really good, I'll get really hungry, but then something goes wrong and I think I end up like not. eating, because like I'm also afraid to eat too fast, but like only visually. Like I don't think my stomach has a problem with eating too fast, but I'm talking about like if I'm literally just like shoveling food into my mouth, like I don't want to do that because that looks like I forgot my manners. You know what I'm saying? That looks like is uncouth the right word? Hey Siri, what does the word uncouth mean? Lacking good manners, refinement, and I. Hey Siri, what does the word uncouth mean? I really should have not done. Oh yeah, lacking good manners, refinement, or grace. That's why I don't shovel food into my mouth. And even then, I do take incredibly large bites sometimes. It's comical, you know. I'll be honest. Some people find it pretty funny, and I do too. Because whenever I'm just like, I'll get like the freaking chipmunk cheeks, man. Like I'll just go like, really good. You know what I'm saying? And I guess that's fine actually. But it's just I don't like doing that because of like how that makes me look. I think it just makes me look silly. Um, but yeah, I can't even remember what I was talking about now. Stomach problems, stressors. Oh yeah, so like the whole stomach problem and and the anxiety, it led me to giving up. And what a good giving up it was. Like let me be honest, guys, it was a fun week. It was a lot of fun. I didn't do much. I guess I don't know if that's reflected in the journal or not because I've only read 2 entries so far. But yeah, so I think it's like I think it's anxiety. Is that really the cause of my stomach issue? Anxiety? Do I just need to like relax? Do I just need to cheer up? Do I just need to not let it bother me? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, maybe. Wednesday. I'm really liking the give up goal. It's so nice to just relax and not worry or pressure myself constantly. I haven't been thinking about my goals or practicing my instruments, and it's nice. Funny enough, though, I might actually go into work on my days off. My coworker made it sound like fun. I think this week was also a good week to give up on because we've already got a couple days off for Thanksgiving. And then the quote is, "They finally put the muzzle on me." Yeah, so this week it was a very good week to give up on, but it was also a very bad week to give up on. And I'm checking the time, and I think I'm already at 40 minutes now, which is crazy. Maybe I'm at like 30. I don't know. Okay, let me get back on task. Back on task of not spiraling out of control. Getting derailed with what I'm talking about. Yeah, so like I said, or like I literally just said like 2 seconds ago. Today was a good week to give up on, and it was a bad week to give up on. It was a good week to give up on because, like I said, I've already got a lot of time off. You know, lots of time to myself, time to relax, time to not stress myself out, you know, etc. But it was also a very, 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 very maybe bad week to give up on because, remember in the past couple episodes where I talked about how the due date for stuff related to my college application is December 1st? Well, it's December 1st tomorrow, and I've submitted nothing for my resume. I don't know how required that resume is, and I don't know if I have more time to submit stuff. Let me tell you right now, and actually, oh, you know what I should do? Hold on. This is perfect. This is perfect. Okay. Ignore my crop top. I'll tell you about it tomorrow. I can't get the thing off the wall. How? These things usually come off so easily that it's annoying. Oh my god. Please! Okay. That was dumb. Those things usually fall off on their own most of the time. Okay. This is a very saddening thing that I wish I didn't have to do. Let me do a shoop. And then, oh, hold on. It's got to be bigger than that. Let me do a shoop. Perfect. And then a shoop. Okay. So, as this is my channel and I do make the rules, I have the authority to cancel goals. Now, the November goal is not canceled, it's just failed. I don't think I have a symbol other than this for when I completely and totally fail a goal because the whole point of making the goal is to do it. But I have technically failed. I did mention, I think last week or the week before, I did buy a book of sheet music so that I can practice my sight reading skills. That is good, I will be doing that still. But I totally failed that resume, man. And yeah, it's my fault. Sorry. Like I said, I've got the equipment. The thing is, I definitely got the equipment later than I should have. I wasted a week or two, because I didn't have the MIDI thing. And then once I did have the MIDI thing, I didn't have that USB hub that I got. And I mean, the USB hub was just like chance that I found that. Like that was super lucky. So like I probably wasted like I want to say like 3 probably whole weeks, not even being able to work on the MIDI stuff so that I could make and produce a couple songs to use as a resume. I do technically have one that I worked on, but like I said, I hate that track. I do not like that. That's not me. So I'm not going to submit that, as my resume for college. So, yeah, I don't got a resume, and it's due tomorrow. I don't have any time tomorrow because I've got work, and then I'm watching a movie with friends afterward, and that'll probably be like my entire day. I'll probably have like a couple hours at most of free time before I'll need to go to bed for work in the morning the next day. So I might be totally screwed on the resume for college. Um, there was two due dates. I think it said all music and dance materials must be, turned in by the first, which means I'm totally screwed pretty much. I'm like 99% screwed if I can't submit that after the first. But it said all other related materials must be submitted by the 15th. So I either have 2 weeks or none to do that resume. If I do get blessed by, I don't know, the grace of God. Speaking of which, a weird coincidence, the more I go to church, the more I use phrases like blessing from God, grace of God, gift of God, whatever. I just felt like that was worth mentioning. Like I'll be like, oh, thank God. Oh, like I said, if by the grace of God I get, if God willing, I have 2 more weeks for my resume, then I'll work on it. Um, but no, yeah, I do mean that. If I do have a couple more weeks, I will do those songs. I'm making a promise to you and to myself right now. If I have 2 more weeks, I'm gonna make at least one good song that I like and am proud of and will be submitted as my resume. I might even make a couple less professional videos to submit, like here, just is me playing a couple songs. And then, because like I said, ideally I make like 4 tracks. I make different genres. Just one song in different genres. Or not one song. 4 songs, each a different genre for a portfolio, for a resume. And I'd make them on my Mac using that equipment that I have. Fairly rudimentary, but I think it'll do what it needs to do in terms of resumes. And then I might, yeah, like I said, I might just make like a video of me playing the piano, just so they can actually see me. Because like I could submit a track, right, but they don't know that that's me. Of course it would be literally my resume, but it's like, if they're looking at it with like a bit of skepticism, because like what if I just submitted something by like Drake, you know what I'm saying, or just like Beyonce. Like of course they would know it if it was that, but like if they have a bit of skepticism, they won't say, "Oh, this kid's amazing." They'll say, "Is this actually a real song?" They might search it up or whatever. I don't know how thoroughly they scrutinize those resumes. Because, like I said, if I just submit an audio file, it could be anything, for all they know. So, yeah, if I do have another 2 weeks, I'll try harder on that resume. If not, it was nice knowing you, because that was my entire life's plan. The goal after that, if that goal fails, I think my next goal will be to see what lead tastes like. Anyway, when that was a joke, by the way. I hope you got that. Made a new goal Wednesday. Okay, yeah, I think that was all I wanted to say about that. Wednesday. Oh wait, no, I already read Wednesday. Oh yeah, the quote. They finally put the muzzle on me. So after 26, I'm looking at the entry. After 26 days of growing out my facial hair, my supervisor, one of them, finally said, "It's time to put the beard net on." And I was like, "Okay, okay, you got me, you got me." Me personally, this is not a beard, okay? I have standards for myself and beards, and this is not a beard. Look at it. Right? Look at it. Look at this. You see this? This is not a beard, me personally. I don't think that's a beard. This is just facial hair. It's not a beard. I don't have a mustache. I don't have a goatee. I don't have a beard. This is just facial hair, okay? And I know some of you are going to disagree with me. I think some of you might already have disagreed with me. But I do not think this is a beard, okay? This is just facial hair. Like, yeah. What's on your face? Facial hair. It's not a beard? No. What is it? Facial hair, okay? That's how I see it. But yeah, my supervisor, because I did tell him, like, I think the week before, I said, I'm not going to put a beard net on until someone tells me to. Because I've heard from my coworkers that have beards that it's really annoying. And it's not, not quite as annoying as I thought it would be. But yeah, it's pretty freaking annoying. Thanksgiving, Thursday. My stomach was low-key killing me all day, which is especially bad because it's Thanksgiving, a holiday where you eat a lot. Anyway, today I went to Thanksgiving with Ink's family, and I think I left a good impression despite my awful stomach. After that, I went to Dad's for Thanksgiving, and that was good too. After that, I would have stopped by my mom's, but I already had more plans with Ink to finish Wednesday. And I'd say that was the highlight of the day. Yeah, so Thanksgiving was, if I said fun, I would be lying. And that's the overall course for like the whole day. Okay, there was fun times in that day, but like I said, I was kind of just getting beat up by my stomach all day. I usually wake up and my stomach feels bad, and I couldn't really tell what it wanted. I was like, food. I don't know if I should eat or not eat, or take an antacid or not take an antacid, because I know I had been taking antacids actually, like the week before. And I was like, okay, I don't really know what my stomach needs right now. I think I'm gonna take a Tums. So I took a Tums, and that made my stomach feel weird, very, very uncomfortable, but not painful and not technically nauseous either. It just felt kind of bad after I took the antacid. And I was like, okay, well, if I've had an antacid, then I hopefully won't be able to throw up. So I guess it's time to go to Ink's Thanksgiving, because it was literally the night before, I think. Um, she was like, "Oh my gosh, Asher, I have to be at my family's house for like 6 hours tomorrow," and I think she like low key hates her family. Not sure. Don't quote me on that. Just a feeling. Um, anyway, so she's like, "Oh my gosh, I have to be there for 6 hours," and I was like, "Oh yeah, that'll suck, right?" And she'll be like, "Yeah, probably." Um, I was like, "What if I went? What if I went to your Thanksgiving?" She was like, "Oh my gosh, no way!" And I was like, "Sure, why not?" And it was pretty fun. I'll be honest. It was like it was a moderate amount of fun, if I'm being honest. Like I said, I just felt super awkward, but like also it's hard to be social and nice with people whenever I'm just like, where's the bathroom? I'm gonna throw up. That wasn't actually how I felt, but that's an exaggeration. Because like I said, my stomach was like, ooh, it was like, eh. It was like, eh. You know what I'm saying? I was like, eh. It did not feel good. Um, so like whenever you go and literally meet someone's entire extended family, it's hard to be like, hi, hello, my name's whatever. Whenever I'm just like, in my head, I'm like hunched over the whole time like this with my hands on my stomach. Now, of course, realistically, I was like hopefully standing up proud and straight and tall. Um, but yeah, so it was a little hard to be a regular person, um, and meet everyone. But the fun parts were she had this game called Othello, and it's like similar. I guess I don't even know what to compare it to. But you've got these little circular colored chips, and they're black and white, and you just like play the game with those. I won't get into it because honestly, I do understand how to play. I didn't. It took me like half. It like I had to get through like half the game before I was like, oh, that's actually how it works. But like I'm not. You place pieces, and then you take pieces from the enemy. Okay, that's it. Very poorly explained. But yeah, we played. It was not bad. I knew I was gonna lose, so it did feel a little bit bad. Just knowing I was gonna lose the whole time because she was so much better and she'd been playing it for years and it was literally my first time. Um, but yeah, so that was fun. And then we had like dinner. I guess no, it wasn't dinner. It was just we had like the meal after that. I hardly ate much. I think I had like a little bit of beans and rice and mashed potatoes, a cup of ginger ale, and then I was like, I think I'm full, but also not because I don't know how my stomach feels, and every bite makes me nauseous, but like not at the same time, so it's like really confusing. Um, yeah, like I said, I'm just afraid I was painfully awkward the whole time, but like she said it was. She said it wasn't that bad. And then after the meal, we played this game that I don't even. I want to say it was her aunt. I never confirmed what the relationship was. I'm pretty sure it was aunt. Aunt makes the most logical sense. I'm mostly sure it was her aunt that made this game called Pluck the Turkey, where she made this little DIY homemade box that resembled a turkey. It had like the beak and the googly eyes and the feathers were these little wooden skewers. Each had a little envelope on it, a little different colored paper envelope with a little piece of paper inside that had something for us to do. It was like this big family game that I think her aunt made, and it was a lot of fun. The games would have, like I said, not the games, the cards, which were the feathers of the turkey that you would pluck, had little games on them. So everyone would go around one after another and take an envelope and then open it up and read it. And there was like trivia questions. There was like I guess it wouldn't be that hard to run down the whole list. There was trivia questions. There was thumb wrestle. There was just a bunch of little games like put a popsicle stick in your mouth, right, just like right in your mouth, and then try and stack dice on the popsicle stick and see how many you can stack. One was have another person hold the popsicle stick, and then you stack dice on it and see how many you can stack. And you would get points from the games, and there was prizes. One prize, because like there were some kids there, and then there was mostly adults, some kids, because it's a big family gathering. There was a prize for the adults, and there was a prize for the kids. They were both gift cards. Don't worry, nothing crazy. Um, yeah, so there was games. I do want to keep talking about the games. There was this card game called Happy Salmon. Very chaotic, kind of silly. It was a kids game for sure. What else? Oh yeah, there was a game similar to like Minute to Win It, where every three players, maybe four, up to four, would get a straw, and there was a plate of marshmallows. Okay, and then there was a plate in front of each player. I'm checking the time. There was a plate in front of each player, and then the plate in the middle had the marshmallows, and you would get a straw, and you'd have to hold the straw in your mouth, and you would have to suck up a marshmallow with the straw, and then put it on the plate in front of you. And I played that once because the games did get repeated. I played that once and I won by a lot. Too easy, light work. Well, maybe also because I was making my competitors laugh, but that's like a skill issue on their part. Just stop laughing, bro. I'm not even that funny. Anyway, um, so that was fun. That was a lot of fun. Pluck the turkey, and then after that we had pie. I believe all of the pies were homemade, and then Ink even brought a loaf of. I really should remember. I think it was like chocolate bread. If I'm being quite honest, I can't remember. I did want to try it, but like I said, my stomach was killing me the whole time, so I didn't. I did have a slice of chocolate. I think it was chocolate and meringue pie, right? So it's this pie. It's got a pie crust, chocolate. I think it was chocolate pudding, just like a whole bottom layer of chocolate pudding, and then like marshmallow meringue on top, and it was so good, dude. Like you have no idea. It tasted like chocolate and marshmallows, and it was like the texture and the crust. Actually, the crust, I was surprised. Like because I think it was homemade because it didn't look like the pre-made crust that you buy. Overheard some conversations. So the crust might have been made from a packet. So it might have been store bought, but you still make the crust and then put it in a pie dish. Um, but it was really good. The crust, for like I said, I was surprised. I was just like I was thoroughly enjoying that pie, that chocolate meringue pie. Like I can hardly put into words. The crust was so good. It wasn't dry, wasn't too crumbly, didn't fall apart, but still a little bit of pushback. When you like try and cut it, which was good. And then like with the chocolate and the meringue that tastes like marshmallow, I was like, this is amazing. I would have loved to eat more, but like I said, my stomach was killing me. And then after we had pie, I just I left and I went home, is what I would say. Wait, no, I did go home. Yeah, I stopped by home because I got a couple store bought pies for my dad's Thanksgiving, which again I did not get to eat as much as I would have liked to, especially because the food was really good. I did have a little bit of corn dip and I had some ham. And then I think later in the evening I did have ice cream. Never had either of the pies that I bought. It was just a store bought pecan and a pumpkin pie, because my stomach was being a jerk. And then I think that was about all that happened at Dad's Thanksgiving. Oh yeah, we watched the football game a little bit. We lost. Kind of what I was expecting, honestly. We're doing like really bad this year. I don't even follow sports or football, but I know that our team is losing this year. It's kind of a bummer, but like, I just don't care actually. If I'm being 100% honest, I do not care at all. I was never into sports, and I'm still not into sports. Straight up. And then yes, after that, I went to home again, and then Ink came over, and we finished watching Wednesday, and I had a little bit more weed drink, and then I ate some food, which is good. Like honestly, after I had that weed drink, was like the best my stomach had felt like all week, dude. Um, which like is good because my human body needs food, but something is wrong with me, and I can't eat food. But I had a little bit of weed drink, and then I ate food, and it was good. And then I finished watching Wednesday with Ink. That was a lot of fun. Okay, I'm pretty sure this episode is closing in on an hour, so I feel the need to end it. Like, see this what I'm talking about right now, where I feel the need to wrap it up. This is where that pressure comes from, where like I feel like I need to talk really fast and get through everything and like finish the episode, cause like that was just Thursday, but I mean like if it was an eventful week, then like why not talk about it? And it kind of was. I feel like honestly, I've talked for way longer than I thought I would, which is good because like I don't think I've been rambling on or getting sidetracked too much. Um, Ignore me. I'm fixing my shorts right now. They got all bunched up. Okay. Anyway, yeah. So I feel like I should end the episode quickly, but no. I'm gonna relax. That's kind of the whole theme of this week is relaxing and not totally stressing myself out. I hope it's not boring to watch, but then again, it doesn't really matter because I'm not doing this for you. I'm doing this for me. The whole point of this channel was to improve my life and stop me from like becoming. It was just honestly, yeah, it was to stop me from spiraling into depression. Because like the whole point was so that I report back here after a while, and then after a while of reporting back here and thinking, man, everything sucks. Then I will take action and I'll make things better again. And that's kind of what I did this week. I was like, wow, everything is so awful. So I give up, and now things are better. And I believe this will happen Thursday. Friday. Goodness gracious. I ended up going into work today. Honestly, the hardest part was waking up in the morning because I stayed up a little too late last night. But other than that, it was fine. I got a personal breakfast pizza too. After that, I came home and had lots of fun playing Helldivers. I also watched some Netflix, and there was a bit of emotional turbulence unrelated to any of that, but I feel better now. The quote is, "I'm not going to let it ruin my day." And that quote comes from a song. I've talked about this band before, The Astronomers. I wouldn't say I love them. Honestly, I wouldn't even say I'm a fan. They just have a few songs that I really like, and one of them is called Ruin My Day, where they sing about how they're not going to let things ruin their day. And that's kind of what I had to do like this week. Sometimes I would feel bad, and I'll be like, man, it's give up week. I'm just going to relax and try and not let it ruin my day. And that mostly worked. Let me see. Yeah, so Friday, extra work. Let me read it one more time. Up in the morning, stay up too late. Netflix. Yeah, speaking of Netflix, there's a couple really good shows. Actually, was it a couple or just one? Was it just one? Oh no, it was two. Okay, so one of the shows I found started watching this week on Netflix. One of them it's an old show, came out in 2020 called The Midnight Gospel. It's I don't know if I'd recommend it because like the visuals are really weird and there's lots of like gore, but it's animated, right? So the gore is like weird sometimes. Yeah, I wouldn't recommend it. It's just like it's kind of because it's just weird. Like if you want to watch something that's weird and wacky and zany, watch The Midnight Gospel. I didn't quite understand what it was back in 2020 when it released because I was only 15. Um, it's this show about this guy, and he talks to, I believe he talks to professionals, question mark, or maybe doctors, and about just like, he just talks to them. It's almost like a podcast, but it's not because it is an animated series and there's stuff happening. But mostly it's him talking to other people about stuff, like death and the universe and like, whatever. Like the first episode, they talked about drugs. He talked to a doctor, an actual doctor, and the doctor said there's no such thing as a bad drug. It's only the context and the people, that make it good or bad. And I think he did talk about weed in that. But I think at the time, he was talking about I think like opioids, and he was like, yeah, people are doing opioids and like sleeping pills, and that like kills you. And then the guy was like, yeah, I've been on acid before, and then like blah blah blah. And so that episode they talked about drugs. The episode after that, I think they talked about death and like losing people a lot more. And like I said, they're all they're talking about those deep kind of life things, while like their animated characters are going through like crazy situations. Like the first episode was a zombie apocalypse, and like it was crazy. Still very cartoony, but still like wacky and zany. So watch that if that sounds like fun to you. The other show that I found on Netflix that I really liked is called Pluto. It was inspired by Astro Boy and the world that kind of takes place in. I don't have like many parallels to draw between Astro Boy and Pluto. But I did do a Google search because in like some of the cover art you see this little boy and he's got like his hair is like swooping in ways that makes it look like he has horns, which kind of makes it look like Astro Boy from Astro Boy. Um, so yeah, I did a Google search, and Pluto is inspired by Astro Boy. I do really actually enjoy watching Pluto. I really like just the whole. I just like it. I like all of it, man. The characters, the world building, it's great. So I've been watching those two shows this week. Um, yeah, that's all for that. Lots of fun playing Helldivers. Yeah, so like I did finally let myself like relax for once and just enjoy playing Helldivers, and it was fun. Believe it or not, when you let yourself relax and enjoy the things that you're doing, they're more fun. Go figure. Yeah, so Friday, I did end up going into work, which we were scheduled off. It was unpaid time off, which kind of sucked. But regardless, we were scheduled off. But I went in because my coworker was like, "Oh, you should totally come in on Friday and help us with pallets." I thought that they were trying to convince me to join so that one of them could not come in. And then, funny enough, one of them didn't come in anyway. I didn't even tell them that I was coming in because I was like, "Oh, that'll be a fun surprise." Because that was actually what my supervisor said. He was like, "Oh, think about it. You've got time to decide whatever, or maybe just show up. That would be funny." So I just showed up. I didn't even tell him. And then yeah, one of our coworkers freaking bailed on both days because we were off Friday and Saturday. But they've been on their weekend kick for some reason recently, so they always come in on Saturdays. Um, and I went in anyway. I think I'll talk about that. But yeah, so I went into work, and the thing is, whenever we go into work on the weekends, when we're scheduled off, our supervisor buys us breakfast, which is really nice. Then I don't know how my stomach was that day. It's not mentioned. I think it was probably fine. But yeah, so I went into work when I wasn't supposed to, and it wasn't that bad, honestly. Listened to a podcast. That was fun. Listened to music. Found a couple really cool new songs. Been playing those recently. Um, really like those. I believe that's all. I believe it's all Friday. Do, 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 do. Yeah. Quote, not gonna ruin my day. Yeah. Saturday. I love Give Up Week. Give Up Week is so fun. The long term ramifications could be very dire, but I guess I'll find out. Today I got groceries, played lots of Helldivers, watched a lot of Netflix, and tried Vienna sausages for the first time. And that's about it. I kept thinking about the things I should be doing, and then I remembered that it's not the time to do those, and then I continued to relax. I really should do those things, but not now. Maybe I'll resume normality early tomorrow. The quote is tastes neither good nor bad. Yeah, so let me start from the bottom up there. Vienna sausages, ever heard of those? They're like little hot dogs in a can. They are canned, so like they look like kind of gross because like I said, it's little hot dogs in a can and there's juice in there, man. And like computer science, my friend, when we went bouldering, I can't even remember how we got to talking about Vienna sausages, but he said that he loved eating those as a kid, and I was like, why? Because like I thought they were like blood sausages, but no, they're like these little canned hot dog like things. And then he said he loved eating the Vienna sausages and then drinking the juice that they were in, right? Like they're little cans that are like this big. And he was like, "Oh yeah, my favorite part was the juice." I'm like, "What are you talking about? That's disgusting." Of course, I didn't say that to him. I'm sure he knows how gross it is to drink the hot dog juice that those Vienna sausages are in. But I did buy a can just because I saw them at Aldi while I was grocery shopping, and I was like, they can't be that bad. Honestly, they weren't. Yeah, it kind of just tasted like little hot dogs. Maybe a little bit slimier than regular ones, but I ate the whole can. I didn't throw up, so they couldn't have been that bad. Um, I did drink the juice because he was like, "You've got to drink the juice," and I was like, "That's stupid," but I did it anyway. And like, oh my god, like one of those cans is 48% of your daily sodium intake. So like when I drank it, I literally felt like like I felt like I was being electrocuted from all the salt that was in there. Like literally, it was like a visceral feeling. I was like, oh my god. Like I drank it, I was like, ugh. But yeah, so I drank the Vienna sausage juice, and it tasted neither good nor bad, but it did taste like electricity. Like that's what I would imagine taking a live wire and sticking it in your mouth felt like. Like I said, it felt like I was being electrocuted when I drank that. Yeah, I did think about being productive today, um, and then I was like, no, not today. Also, yeah, this episode is definitely gonna be super long. So like, sorry, but like, I feel like it's good content. I don't know. Like I said, I do like, the more relaxed feeling where I'm not rushed. Because towards the end, when I'm on like Friday or Saturday of the journal, I'll be like, and then we're done. Bye. But it's nice to not do that, even if it does make the episode super long. But like I said, I just gotta relax and I gotta remember that I am doing this for me, right? Right, the stuff you're watching right now, right? Seeing me talk to myself. Well, hold on, how should I put it? Yeah, the videos that you watch on this channel are good for me. Ink asked me a while ago, "Do you think the Chronicle is like good for you?" Like I think she might have said that like word for word, and I was like, "Yeah." And the moment I told her yes or no, or yes and no, but that was like a default response. Long story, I'll get to that maybe another day. But yeah, the Chronicle making the videos longer and just talking more about my life does help. It really does. And if you watch all of it, thank you. Last I checked, I don't think anyone has seen every single episode of the Chronicle, and I think it might be becoming like One Piece, which is really funny. If you don't know, One Piece is an anime. It is the longest running anime. And I have a friend. Sometimes people will try to convince you to watch it. They're fools. There's over 1,000 episodes, and I think the Chronicle is similar to that. I don't know if anyone's ever seen every single episode of the Chronicle. I don't know if anyone ever will, because like I think was it tomorrow? I'm having some friends over. They're all gonna see that on my wall. Are they gonna ask about it? Probably. I'm having actually wait. They might not be coming over because it might be really icy. But I'm having three friends over. One of them didn't ask last time. One of them said I'm not gonna ask, and then the third one hasn't even seen them yet. And also the ring light. There's still a ring light on my desk, so I don't know. Yeah, they might ask about that. What was I saying all that for? The Chronicle is good for me. Yeah, it's good for me. How did I get on the wall part? They're gonna come over. I forgot. Dang, I want to remember though, because I feel like I was going somewhere, and then I got off track. Chronicle's good for me. Long episodes. One Piece. Hold on, I'm getting there. I'm beginning to believe I'm remembering. Longer episodes. One Piece. Yeah. So like I said, last time I checked, I don't think anyone has ever watched the entirety of the Chronicle, and I don't know if anyone ever will, because we're on episode 30 something, and if I keep making the episodes an hour long, like I'm pretty sure this one I think is the longest. I don't know how long this has been going for. I think it's close to an hour or over an hour right now, but I'm pretty sure this is going to be the longest episode to date. Hopefully they don't get longer than this, because that would be super long. But I don't know. Like I said, it was a fairly eventful week. I've been talking about stuff, and I haven't been going in circles too much. Um, so yeah, and I was like, I'm thinking, oh, I don't want to make boring content, but it's like I'm not making it for others. Maybe I should make the episodes even longer, and then they become like podcasts, where it's like you put it on your cloud, because that's I like podcasts. So it's like if my dad had my job, he could listen to this at work. Look at that. I could listen to these at work because it's just me talking. So yeah, the long length videos. Is that even a word? Long length. The lengthy videos, not even a problem. Saturday. Okay, yeah. So we talked about Netflix. Talked about blah blah blah. Got groceries. Got the Vienna sausages. Yeah. So the long term ramifications was I might be screwed for my resume and the application, but I already talked about that, so you know about that. Um, yep. Then Vienna sausages. I should do stuff and I didn't do stuff. Yeah, I didn't practice my instruments like at all. Like I did like one day. I think I did like a little bit, just a little bit on each instrument, and like that was it. Which means I'm pretty much totally screwed for getting all four practices on both instruments next week, unless I practice both instruments Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, and I have lessons on Thursday, which I think like realistically is impossible, especially because like work's getting later. So like I think I might literally not have time to practice both instruments on Thursday, but I might as well try anyway. It'd be something fun to report, even though I'll probably forget about it. Because like that's one thing I noticed is that I used to talk about my instruments a lot and how I would do or not do them, and now I'm like, oh, they've kind of been slipping under the radar. I haven't been talking about them. I have been practicing actually. My practices, they're at an all time high as of recently. Um, of course, I'm on pause this week. This is give up week, so I gave up on them during give up week. So yeah, I might be screwed for next week. But I think yeah, I probably. Oh no, I didn't because we were off for Thanksgiving this week, so I didn't actually get all my practices this week. But like I said, in terms of like the overall course of my life, the practices are at an all-time high, which is really good. And I am closer to catching up on guitar, and I am already caught up on piano. And I know that goal was up there for a while. I believe that's all for Saturday. Give up week was very fun, even though it's over now. I am moderately excited to start the new goal that was a secret and I didn't explain. Um, I'll keep it a secret. And that leads us to today. Would you look at that? So today I woke up. Man, when did I wake up? I think I woke up at like 8 or 9, and then I stayed in bed. Or did I wake up at like 10? I can't really remember when I woke up, but I know I woke up. I know I woke up because I'm here. I think I stayed in bed for a while, and then Azula, the cat, crawled up on my back, and then she laid there for a while, and I was like, well, I can't get up now. There's a cat laying on my back. And also, funny little side coincidence. Azula, I think, is the only other named like thing, person, or creature on the channel, other than myself. And now, because everyone else has nicknames, and I still say Dad. I refer to my dad as Dad. I don't need to give him a nickname because like I'm pretty sure you can figure out who I'm referring to when I literally say Dad. It's my. I'll give you a spoiler. It's my dad. Um, but like one time, I think I said Azula in a previous episode, and I was like, wait a minute, can I say that? And I was like, yeah, because like she's a cat. Crazy voice crack, but she's a cat. No one's gonna dox my cat. I think I can't imagine why or how. Um, but yeah, it's me. I refer to myself by name, and I refer to the cat by name. But everyone else is a nickname or a title. Like I do call my siblings. Sometimes I'll say older brother, younger brother. Um, and I've talked about it before. It's a great coincidence. I have an older brother and a younger brother, and an older sister and a younger sister. And like there's perfectly no overlap between any of that. So that's pretty cool. So whenever I say older or younger brother or sister, you'll know I'm only referring to the one. Um, I think that's all I meant to say there. Yeah, that's where I was talking about earlier. Where like I feel like my train of thought just goes, because like I know that I was talking about that from something. I think it was like, yeah, I was talking about all that because Azula is the only other thing that you get its real name other than I think me. So yeah, funny coincidence. Oh yeah, and then I talked about that because I was talking about today. What happened today? What did happen today? Oh yeah, I woke up and then she laid on my back, and that's how I got on that whole tangent. Anyway, woke up. I went to church late, which is good and bad. Bad because I was late. I guess it's not really an issue, but good because I missed the entirety of worship, which is really boring, as it always is. Um, Also, I saw my older brother there. He was there with our family friends who go there. And then I wasn't gonna talk to them like normally. Like was it? I think I talked to them. I told them this while I was there, while I saw them. He was like, "Have you been here for a while, or have you been like back here for a while?" And I was like, "Yeah, I usually just sit behind you guys, because they're family friends, but I'm not like close enough with them personally to where I'm gonna go sit with them. When I go to church, when I clock into church." So I usually sit in the back alone because I'm not the social type. I like sitting in the back. That's what I do. But like I said, I saw my older brother there. I was like, "Hey man, what's up?" And he was like, "Oh my gosh, what are you doing here?" Because like he wasn't expecting to see me either. And then after that, the family friends, and my brother went to Slim Chickens for lunch, breakfast. Um, that was good. My stomach was okay. It's been okay today actually, and yesterday as well, which is pretty miraculous. If I'm being quite honest. But yeah, so we went to Slim Chickens, and then the family friend's dad paid, which is really nice. Food wasn't that bad. I've heard Slim Chickens is bad. I can't remember who I heard that from. It wasn't that bad. The fries, it was like overall, I think actually a 6 out of 10, which might sound bad, but yeah, I think a 6 out of 10. Because like the chicken was good, but it wasn't great, and the fries were good, but they weren't great. The sauces were good, but they weren't great. So yeah, 6 out of 10 I think is good. I just ordered a classic meal, so it was four tenders, chicken tenders, two pieces of Texas toast, and then fries. And then I ordered a couple sauces, and I got a soda. Yeah, it was good. 6 out of 10. They have this slim sauce. Slim, of course, being Slim Chicken, so it's like the house sauce. I could not discern what it tasted like. Not just because I can't taste very well. It was a familiar taste, but I couldn't quite pinpoint it. I thought it would be similar to like cane sauce, but when I tasted it, I was like, there's something specific in this sauce, but I can't really tell what it is. And I didn't particularly like it either. Um, so yeah, that was good. The Slim Chickens. And after that, I went home, and then oh yeah, I recently found out this little combo, creatine and caffeine. So I have this powder, this little drink mix. It's just caffeine and flavoring. It's not pre-workout, just caffeine and flavoring that I will mix with my creatine. It is flavored creatine. Recently, I bought flavored creatine. I really thought I would like it. I don't like it that much, but it's much easier to drink than the unflavored creatine, which I always have to mix in with other things. But the thing is, I don't always have other things, to mix in with the unflavored creatine. So I bought some flavored creatine. And what I do is I take one scoop. Usually I do 2 scoops of my caffeine powder and flavoring, and then that'll be like an energy drink. I've talked about my DIY energy drink before. So I'll take one scoop of the caffeine, which is 100 milligrams of caffeine, and then I take my creatine, mix those two together, and then I drink that like really quickly. I don't know why I drink it quickly, but I purposely drink it really quickly. Um, and then I don't know why, but like it just feels really good. Like I've talked about how once I get off creatine for a while, and then I get back on it, I'll get like a super hyper boost. Like I remember talking about it when I first started taking creatine. It was like magic how much better it made me feel. And then I kind of got used to it. So, ooh, I'm trying to crack this elbow. Okay, perfect. Um, but yeah, so like now that it's more mellowed out and I've been taking it regularly, it doesn't quite give me that super super power man boost. Um, but I would mix the creatine with the caffeine, and it would just, like I said, it was like it wouldn't give me like a high or anything. Like I said, it wouldn't give me that super extra boost. It just kind of made me feel like better, like steadily and constantly. Which like usually the caffeine is very like I'm like jittery or I'm shaky or I'm anxious or it's not like a net positive. But like whenever I have the creatine and the caffeine combo, I don't know why, but it's like a net positive. It's just a good thing. Um, yeah, and then oh my gosh, did I ever talk about the caffeine 24/7 goal? Because that's semi-related. I don't think I did, because I think I got off on a side tangent of talking about weed, and how I'd like to do that. Yeah. Okay, well I guess I gotta talk about that now. Actually, let me finish today, and then if I remember, then I'll do that. Actually, no, because I definitely want to talk about today. But okay, okay. Caffeine 24/7. I will try and be quick about it. Life is worth living when I am on caffeine. So I was like, okay, I just need to take more caffeine then. Like I said, I don't want to build up a dependence or a tolerance or like whatever, but like that might just be a necessary evil to live an enjoyable life. I was like, okay, well, what I think I did was I tried. Did I try 100 milligrams or 200 milligrams? I think I tried 200 milligrams earlier in the week. I think that might have actually been Monday. I was like, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take 200 milligrams of caffeine to me, 200 milligrams of caffeine into work with me, and I'm going to sip on that throughout the day. That was not enough caffeine, man. Let me be 100% honest. I think it was just because I started doing that earlier in the morning, and like I said, I'm practically a zombie. When I wake up, I'm not a morning person. And I think that I was sipping the caffeine faster than usual because I was so tired, right? So it takes more of the caffeine to actually, lift me up. Um, I was like, okay, well, the first issue with having being on caffeine all the time is that you need caffeine. I was like, well, I know my current little powder is like maybe half empty. So what I did was I ordered G Fuel, 2 tubs of it because it was a buy one get one. So like perfect coincidence there. Um, that was great. Or like I don't know, yeah, whatever. Um, yeah, so like I had 200 milligrams, and I was like, that didn't really work. So was it like the G Fuel though? That's 140 milligrams per serving. So I could put two of those, and that would bring me up to 280 milligrams per day. Ideally, I don't want to go above 200. But like I said, if I do want to try that caffeine 24/7 goal, I would have to probably be taking more than 200 milligrams a day. And I know what the safe limit is. It's like 500, maybe 400. So not 380, 280. You know, not super close to that. Um, it's like doable. I don't know. I haven't tried the G Fuel. I don't know like how hard it'll actually hit. Um, but yeah, it didn't work with the current powder that I have because I would drink it in the morning and I would drink it faster because I was extra tired. Um, so I'll have to conduct further research for that goal. Anyway, back to talking about today. Slim chickens. After that, came home. Oh yeah, I don't have an entry. Dang, what did I do today? Probably a whole lot of nothing, if I'm being honest. No, a lot of Helldivers and a lot of Netflix because it was give up week, so I was just having fun. And oh, what fun it was. Yeah, so was it Slim Chickens? Came home. Honestly, I think since then I've just been relaxing. I've just been, giving up, which is good. A lot of fun. I think that is actually all I did today. I did. Oh, I did prep lunch for tomorrow. I did do some. I don't even know how to refer to what it was. In my head, I want to say not theory crafting, but like style theory crafting, which makes no sense. As you guys know, I'm not a very stylish person. I'll talk about it tomorrow. Um, I think that was all I did today. Some chickens, and then after that, it was just Helldivers and Netflix, and I had a lot of fun. Had my creatine and my caffeine combo, And now I know. Now I know. I'm looking at the time. Now I know this episode's over an hour. Um, so yeah, that'll be cool. Longest episode to date. I really am trying to remember. I don't think I did anything else today. Um, oh yeah, I did do the Yap session. Forget about that. And I did try and transfer those files on the USB. Um, I think that was it though. Yeah. Did I have a meal in between? Did I snack? I don't know. But yeah. That is all for this week. I will see you all tomorrow. Or will I? Anyway, see you next time. Thank you for watching. Bye.